Hello and welcome to Meet MIPS Improvement Activities using PXTechnology. In this mini webinar, your host Randy Marsden, President of Marsden Advisors, and Kaylin Califf, Business Development Executive with PXTechnology, discuss how practices can meet two important improvement activities.
Just a quick legal statement. This presentation is for informational purposes only. These regulations change a lot, and so just be aware that we're talking about this at a high level. This should impact pretty much all practices that are reporting under the MIPS program, but we may not cover everything in detail. We're trying to go over the highlights and the top things to be aware of. Now, if you go through any of the improvement activities and you find that they're no longer going to work based on their changes, or that you just need more measures or more activities, maybe you went from being a small practice to a large practice, now you need to report on twice the amount of activities. If you're already using PXTechnology, or if you're interested in using PXTechnology, they actually support two improvement activity measures for you. The first measure is a high priority activity, meaning it can earn the full maximum score, and depending on your practice size, you may be able to just get away with doing one activity for the entire category if it's high priority. That's drug cost transparency. So this helps patients navigate the stress and risks associated with paying for healthcare by understanding their drug costs by referencing a drug formulary and helping patients explore alternative options that address their needs. The validation documentation, basically what that means is if you were to get audited in the future, what you would need to provide. And for this, you'll need to provide documentation of counseling to patients and their caregivers using a real-time benefit tool, which could be like an app that you're going through to show the patient's formulary and benefit information, which is usually part of your e-prescribing program, if you have that already, as well as documentation of alternative medications and assistance programs. So you might be providing help for your patients for like signing up for a drug assistance program, for example. But if you're not documenting that in the record, then auditing this and finding it in the future might be difficult. So using a tool or documenting that in your EHR will be helpful. Luckily, PXTechnology's platform has this reporting available for you. So it's not something you need to do yourself if you choose to use their system or if you're already using it. The medium priority activity should also be covered if you're using all of PXTechnology's features. And this helps patients mostly around deciding on procedures at the office, so providing a patient with the estimated cost of care, and also offering financial counseling and exploring any additional payment options that you may offer if the procedure is not fully covered by their insurance. So I'm now going to hand you over to Kaylin, who's going to take you through a brief demo of how the PXTechnology platform works and how it ties into these important MIPS improvement activities. Take it away, Kaylin.
Hi, my name is Kaylin Califf, and I am a Business Development Executive for PXTechnology, and I will be presenting on PX Connect. PX Connect is our patient copay support enrollment platform. So this is going to be our solution for all of those enrollment forms that are really difficult to, sift through, print out, fax, scan, and send into the different drug companies. So what we're able to do is we bring those multiple enrollment forms into one easy-to-use platform. The forms are 90% pre-populated, and signatures are made very easy to get through our tablets. So the entire objective of this demo is to show you that PX Connect has the capability and will save time in clinic. So how we're able to do that is we actually connect through a practice's EMR or PM system. That helps with that pre-population and making sure that we have patient demographics and specific clinic information already on the forms. From there, the forms have an instant and electronic submission. So I think it's going to make sense if I just jump straight in. So I am going to switch my screen. So right now I am sharing my tablet screen. So obviously this is an online form of my tablet screen, but this is exactly what it looks like when you're looking at one of our tablets. And so here I actually have it pulled up on the patient select screen. So the patient select screen is going to be all the patients that have checked in for that day. So depending on your specific practice's workflow, a lot of times we see maybe the tech is the one that's responsible for capturing signatures. So I'm going to pretend that Peter White came in, I'm a tech, and I'm going to go capture those signatures on this tablet. So we're going to go ahead and select Peter White's name. And the next screen here is our program select screen. So this is going to be almost like a patient's personal manila folder. So this is going to have all the programs that your clinic offers that pertain to this patient, excuse me. And so here I have the ones that are supported through Retina. So we've got YUTIQ, we've got the Genentech forms, which are all the Lucentis drugs, Good Days, and EYLEA for You. We do offer other forms. They are going to be in our unsupported program, but we do have other program options. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into an EYLEA for You form. So here, once again, we are still on that tablet screen. And so we're going to just pretend that we are in there quickly getting those signatures and quickly getting out so that we can submit them later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and scroll down to the patient signature box. And so something important to point out here as well is we will send styluses if you feel like your patient population prefers that. We have some folks that just prefer the signing with the finger. I'm obviously signing with my mouse and keypad, but it's really whatever your practice would prefer. Capture that second lovely signature. And then here at the bottom, this is our physician signature box. So this is something really important to point out. When we bring new clients on, most, if not all, of our clients have preferred for us to go ahead and capture the physician signature and have this portion already pre-populated as well. So we've heard, it can be really tough to chase down signatures of patients, but it's also can be really difficult to chase down your provider. And so here we can already have this pre-populated and you're not going to have to capture those signatures. So at the bottom, there is a button to submit. So a couple things about this, we can change it to a save button if that would make a practice feel more comfortable, just so they can for sure have a second set of eyes on this form. But we can also submit it through the tablet. So if, let's say, the tech has some extra time or whoever is capturing these signatures has extra time with the patient, they can fill out the entire form and submit it directly from the tablet. Also, another thing to point out is it will not let me submit without it complete. So regardless, we're not going to have empty forms floating out into the abyss. It's going to be an area that you guys will be able to either save or submit based on what you have filled out. So I'm going to go ahead and select back. So another important thing to point out is our tablets do save in real time, so you can just select back. So here it brings me to my HIPAA compliant pin screen. So this is just going to be just in case Peter White, let's say he's, got a hold of the tablet and he starts clicking around, he will not be able to back up and get into any other patient information. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my pin. And here it brings us right back to that patient select screen. And at the very top, we have Peter White once again. And something important to point out is we have that EYLEA for You form. It still has an X by it, which means we are not complete with it. We still have more to fill out, but it does have that piece of paper and pencil, which shows that we have captured that signature. So what we're going to do, once again, we're just going to kind of play it like we captured the signature, and then we're going to come back later in the day and finish that form. So let me go ahead and jump into our client portal. So this is going to be a portal that you can log into on any desktop, laptop. This may be something that the billing team takes care of, or whoever would have that second set of eyes to actually submit the form. So we're going to jump into administrative and we're going to select submit forms. So here just took us right to the submit form page. Something important to point out, we can have all of your providers showing, we can have one provider showing, just whatever makes the most sense for your practice. And so right now I have all users showing, but we do have the Peter White that I just submitted. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and fill out the rest of the form. So something important to point out here, I have it under the incomplete fields selection, but if I were to select all fields, that's where it really shows that integration where we can see all those patient demographics are already pre-populated. So these are the only things that are left to fill out. So we're going to go ahead and just fill out the rest of this form. Has patient started treatment? We'll select yes. It's going to go ahead and pre-populate the date and time of when you select yes, but you can always change it. Dispense method, this is an area that we can make a pre-populated field. If your practice only does pre-filled syringes, we can make that something that's already filled out for you. And then here we have that plan, and we're going to go ahead and select a site of service. We're going to go ahead and submit that form, and the physician signature will pop up, or physician certification, excuse me. So this is going to show that we already have that signature from your physician and we are ready to go. So here is our instant benefits investigation page. So this is going to be specific for ILEA for you. And right now this is going to pre-populate for about 50% of patients. And so that number we anticipate to grow as our system continues to learn different acronyms like BCBS does mean Blue Cross Blue Shield. But here's that instant benefits investigation. Select done. All right, so that pops us right back to the submit forms page. So we are going to go ahead and scroll down to completed forms. And so here you can see we have that ILEA for you. I'm going to go ahead and select the application and the statement of benefits. So the application, what this is showing is that PDF form that is extremely familiar to most practices. So as you can see, this is going to be the area where you can really see that pre-population where all of those fields are already in there. So this is what would typically be handwritten, maybe illegibly or legibly, depending on who's doing it. But this is where that's all going to show up, as well as those patient signatures. And then here I have the benefits investigation page. And so this is going to be really familiar for most practices because this is where those companies are faxing back your benefits investigation. So the third page is going to be what you are most familiar with seeing. So we're going to go ahead and jump right back into the client portal. And so I know this was a super quick and very fast demo, but really it is a very efficient process and we like to really showcase that. And so that is PX Connect. Oh, we also, I guess another thing to point out really quickly is we also have a reporting section so we can pull those reconciliation reports to show submissions. So that's another important thing to point out. And then if you need to download the forms, we have that as well. But any other questions, please feel free to ask at the end. I know we will have a section for Q&A, but I want to thank you guys for my time, or for your time, excuse me. And thank you, Randy, for having us.
So I definitely encourage you, if you haven't already, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can visit this link, youtube.com/@Marsden Advisors, or you can look at Marsden Advisors on YouTube. We'll drop a link in the chat. We just did a presentation last month on the final rule for MIPS in 2023. So we have a much more detailed presentation, even going over specific measure changes that you'll want to check out if you're not aware. You can also check out our blog. We have a final rule blog post there as well.